St. Albans Sanatorium, located in the little southwest Virginia city of Radford, has been recognized as one of the East Coast's most active ghost locations. The structure, which was formerly a boys' school and later a sanatorium for the mentally ill, is currently abandoned, but it is far from quiet. In 1892, the St. Albans Lutheran Boys' School opened as a prestigious but demanding school for boys. The school quickly earned a reputation as a place where bullying was the norm and, while no official reports record harm or death, more than one suicide is believed to have occurred on school grounds. The school closed its doors in 1911 and sat empty until 1916 when Dr. J.C. King reopened it as a home for disabled people with mental illness. The sanatorium had been developed during an era when the treatment of the mentally ill was frequently barbaric and inhumane. However, even this better care included experimental therapies and questionable treatments. The patients did not receive adequate care because of staff-to-patient ratio of 48 to 6,509. Not to mention that at the time, psychotherapy was more like torture than treatment. Doctors would open patients' skulls and shock them into a coma with electroshock therapy. Insulin-induced comas and lobotomies left people brain-damaged or dead. Despite this, the institution grew to become a well-known hospital in the 1960s and 1970s. The services at St. Albans were moved to a new site in the 1990s, and the hospital was permanently shut down. However, from the rooftop garden with mesh that prevented patients from jumping to their deaths, to the electroshock therapy room where patients were treated, frequently to their detriment, reminders of St. Albans' history await at every turn. Today, St. Albans operates as a historical site, offering tours that recount the building's long history and significance as one of the area's oldest structures. However, the building's reputation as a supernatural hotspot has attracted many individuals. Reports of paranormal activity are abundant, including the rocker room, which contains a rocking chair that frequently rocks on its own. On the first floor, past the entrance to the King Center, you'll find Muffin Man Hallway. St. Albans volunteer extraordinaire Jenny Johnston is credited with giving it that name. During a Halloween haunted fundraiser for the hospital one year, Jenny was dressed as a bloody Muffin Man. Spectral spooks were reported by people who visited the event, as well as a singing spirit named Elizabeth and a darker, more frightening entity known as the Grumpy Old Man. And the suicide bathroom, where at least 4 suicides took place over the years. The bowling alley was utilized as a reward for St. Albans patients in the basement. The bowling alley and the boiler room are seen as 2 of the darker areas on the premises, with stories about the demonic goat man, shadow people, Smokey, the ghost of a rapist maintenance man, and Smokey's mother living there. And the ghost of Gina Renee Hall, who vanished after leaving a bar with Stephen Epperly on June 28, 1980. There has never been a case in Virginia state history where a murder conviction was obtained without evidence of a corpse. There are a number of suggestions as to how Epperly disposed of Gina: she was thrown into the New River, etc. A popular idea revolves around St. Albans itself, however. Not only was Hall's automobile discovered near St. Albans, but it is thought that Epperly worked at the hospital at some time and would have known the area well, so he could have gotten rid of her body there. Donald's room is located to the right atop the grand staircase. The tale of Donald is tragic. A homosexual maintenance man who lived on site in the hospital, but was also a pedophile. Evidently, Donald prefers it when men visit his room and he wants to get them into his closet. The real horror lies in the tale of Donald raping and killing a young boy who was abandoned in the hospital. Researchers also found the room where a high concentration of suffering was observed. Patients would receive hydrotherapy treatment today, according to standards, which would have resulted in the facility being shut down. Some physicians would wrap patients in freezing cold towels while others would strap them into steaming water vats where they stayed confined for days. They would also blast patients with fire hoses. Walking through the eerie graffiti-covered halls and crumbling doorways, St. Albans virtually hums with history and speculation. It's easy to imagine the horrors that patients may have experienced in this advanced treatment facility. Consider the decades of raw feeling, anguish, and terror for those who suffer from mental illness trapped within St. Albans' walls. Many of the therapies offered there are today considered barbaric by modern psychiatric criteria. Suicides were also prevalent at St. Albans. Although the precise number of deaths is not known, it was significant enough that a hospital morgue was built on site. The sanatorium was shut down in 2003, and one of its former patients bought the land. The current owner now operates haunted attractions on the grounds of the old hospital, including an annual Halloween haunted house. However, not all of the ghost sightings inside this facility are due to staged haunted attractions. It appears that the souls of those who were subjected to terrible mistreatment in life are imprisoned in the structure after death. When inside the structure, most people experience a sense of sadness and anxiety. Others have seen two young females appearing to wander the basement. St. Albans is a popular location for paranormal investigations, with celebrities such as Sci-Fi's Haunted Collector, the RIP Files, and travel channels The Dead Files having visited the town. In the suicide bathroom, a woman felt the icy grip of a ghost's hand. One team even captured a video of a dark ghastly shadow moving down a stairwell. St. Albans is a fascinating destination whether your interests are historical or supernatural, with flashlight tours, spooky house visits, and both private and public paranormal research. Is St. Albans Sanatorium still haunted by the tormented spirits? Those who are brave may go to the former insane asylum and find out for themselves.